But
Yeah.
kind of going off that, like, what advice would you give to somebody, like, let's say from one of our high schools who is like super passionate, but they see everybody else is going one direction and they don't know if they should follow what they love or that sort of thing. Like, what advice would you give somebody who is maybe similar position to you, who loves something, but is also maybe distracted with a lot of like what they should be doing, so to speak? Like, what advice
Um,
would you maybe give someone like that?
I would say first, I mean, like for me, I looked at before I made my decisions, I looked at my family and
Mm,
I was like, what's going to work out the best? Like for instance, I was signed to go to Maryland, and I love Maryland. I wanted to stay local, but I kind of didn't look at other schools as much because I knew with the offer that they gave me, my parents would have been nice. They would have been
right.
paying less money at Maryland and Keller Hall. So it was kind of like, all right, I'm not going to look at these other schools to help out my parents. But I mean, whatever, I would always say follow what you love. I mean, if you love baseball, then keep pursuing it. You
Yeah.
have to. I mean, once you get like 18, you kind of are becoming a man, and you have to be
Right.
realistic with yourself. And you have to. You always have like in sports, you have to compare yourself to others. Like if you're looking at other guys getting drafted and you like comparing like, oh, I'm better than them, then yeah, like keep pursuing it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if you're looking at guys like you could love baseball to death, and I knew guys that loved like they slept, ate, thought like everything baseball, and they
Yeah.
didn't make it for whatever reason. Like they just didn't have the skill. But you have to be realistic with yourself to where are you doing more harm or are you doing
Mm,
like yeah, I mean you get the point.
yeah.
That's what
No,
I
it's
would
good
say.
advice.
I mean, I would say talk to your friends, like your closest friends about like what you want to do, what you're trying to like struggling with, contemplating. But yeah, I mean the biggest thing I feel like with baseball, the biggest thing is because you fail so much, you have to have a support system. You have to be able to
Absolutely.
talk to people and like relieve that stress. Because like especially in pro ball, like it gets trying sometimes where like I've had times where I forgot to hit. Like I'm in the box and I'm like, what am I doing? To where I just talk to people and I kind of
Mm,
if they kind of like reinforce it, like, hey man, how did I look? And they'll be like, man, you look fine. Like you just hit that ball or whatever. And that kind of helps you out. And
yeah.
that you can take that same approach to in high school. If you're trying to figure out like what you want to do and stuff. I don't know if that answers your question exactly, but I mean that's what I would tell people. Again, if you love something, then by all means do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
So
think that
that's
you definitely answered my question. I think between, like you said, like being realistic, making sure you love it, and then like having the support around you, I think that's all really good advice.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What do you
So that
feel
kind of
like? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
now I was just about to say I asked myself in high school before I like kind of just focused on baseball. I was like, do I love baseball? And it was like,
Mm.
yeah, 100%. So I went full throttle.
Dude, and that's like the thing, man. I always say that like you got to start with what you love, and I promise people that like everything else will come if you are
Yeah.
consistent and you just work hard. It doesn't matter. Like it might take a long time, and like, but it will pay off. So if you, that's why I always say like lead with what you love, and that's why it's so cool for me to see and everyone I get on here, but especially you, because you know you're at a very high level and you're doing something that from where we went to high school is so different. That's why I love it, and it's just so cool to
Yeah.
see that you loved something and you just took it all the way, and it's paying off, and you're still having fun with it. 6 years later, and you still love it. It's awesome to see, man.